I'm going to give you 10 seconds to get up and get out of bed.
I'm the world's strongest man, Mitchell Hooper, and today Jocko Willink is going to control my life. Throughout the episode, I'll talk about Jocko's discipline, but to display it right off the bat, he insists on laying your clothes out the night before so that he can get active as quickly as possible, regardless of whether he's feeling groggy or energetic. So all that's left is to get moving. He says you need to get your blood flowing and your muscles loosened up before you begin working out. Fairly common sense, but Jocko's typical warm-up routine is as follows. Hanging on a pull-up bar for 10 to 15 seconds, hold a push-up position for 10 to 15 seconds, do a slow squat and hold at the bottom for 10 to 15 seconds, do a burpee, then do a few jumping jacks. Get on the ground, arching your head towards the ceiling to stretch out your abs. Raise your hips to the sky and stretch your back, like the downward dog pose in yoga. We're then gonna put that all together to get the heart rate up and blood flowing. We'll do one pull-up, one push-up, do a slow squat to the ground, and do a burpee. We finish this with 5 jumping jacks. We then repeat the cycle to when we're doing 5 of our pull-ups, our push-ups, our slow squat, and our burpee, and 20 jumping jacks. After a nice slow wake up, a little bit of a warm-up, we're at 4:30, and it's time to get into the workout. Jocko normally does a pretty standard split. He does a push day, pull day, a lift day, and a squat day. Today we're gonna do the pull day. And we can't find exactly what he does, but we're gonna do a military style, body weight predominantly. We're gonna do some pull-ups, gonna do some inverted body weight rows, gonna do some dumbbell rows, and gonna do some rowing with bands. So we'll see how I go. We're gonna keep a higher volume than I would normally go because it's more fitness related than what I would normally do. So wish me luck. This is a pretty normal split. This is something I would recommend people, if you're looking for general structure, you can go ahead and get stuck into that, or you can check out my links in the bio. Before y'all shred me, he's on record saying he likes kipping pull-ups. So we're gonna go kipping style. Jocko was the commander of SEAL Team 3, and he had the mantra, discipline equals freedom. Although he retired in 2010, he blew up on social media because he posts the time that he gets up in the morning. Every single morning, he'll post his watch, which varies from 3:30 to like 4:45. Just crazy. When you're getting out of bed at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, you look and you see Jocko's been up for 4 hours. You sort of think, what am I doing? That discipline equals freedom mantra obviously carries over to his life now. Now he runs business, companies, all of that, off of that military discipline. And obviously, this is a part of it. 4:30 in the morning, getting your training in. There's a lot of the day left to be had. That's the workout. Relatively quick one, but enough to get my heart rate going in it. Get me sweating a bit. Now, we're gonna head upstairs. And the one thing that is most frustrating to me about this routine is we're not gonna eat. We're gonna wait until 12 o'clock to eat, which is gonna be a very long time. But now he would go off and have a surf. We're gonna do a little bit of hot cold. I don't know if that's in the same vein, but it's certainly more pain. And doing things you don't like to do seems to be the underpinning of being a disciplined person. So let's go do some hot cold. And yeah, Canadian winter should be fine. Hop in the hot tub, back and forth a bit. Should do the trick. Oh, that's proper hot. Wow. Oh. Now this is gonna be the only enjoyable part of this. We've got 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off. This first warm is beautiful. But God knows that when you're wet in the cold, will not be ideal. So this is probably my least favorite thing I do on a daily basis, is stand out in the cold. And you know, it probably provides some marginal benefit. Still working through that. No Stone Unturned series coming very soon. You'll find out all about it. But I think as an athlete, you go, like Jocko calls it extreme discipline, but I think you sort of get to a stage with extreme discipline, it never really becomes a question. It never really becomes an internal debate. And when people ask about motivation, like, it doesn't exist for me because I just do what I have to do. You know, for me, certain people rely on me to do well and train, and I have my program and people are holding me accountable. But even if I didn't, for 10 years before I was the world's strongest man, I was still out training every day, and there's never a debate. If I had my work shirt on, well, I guess I'm training in my work shirt. If I didn't bring the right shoes, I guess I'm squatting barefoot. It's just, you got to get to a place where you're not considering things with yourself at all. Because if you enter the debate, you rely on the angel on your shoulder to win the debate, not the devil. And it becomes alleviating when you're not having to make decisions about what you're going to do. You just do it. So for my hot cold, thankfully I got the Canadian winter right now, but for my hot, Master Spas was nice enough to send me this guy. It has done me absolute wonders, and it's got this beautiful little touch screen where we can get the jets going and we can have a nice relaxing time. So there's a couple of people in the fitness military community who are the hardcore dudes of the planet, Jocko being one of them, David Goggins being another one. And obviously I've never met either of these guys, but I tend to like Jocko's approach a little bit more than Goggins. Goggins seems like more of a run your head through the wall, and if it doesn't go through, hit it again and hit it again. And if you've got broken feet, run on broken feet. And I think Jocko's, his vibe seems to be more around discipline and creating the best version of yourself, not necessarily absolutely running yourself into the ground at all costs. Nice and warm. Got my gym mats to keep it closed in case of wind. You could say, Mitchell, there are clips that you can screw into the side of the hot tub, to which I would say, I know, but mind your own business. All right, 3 minutes, then we're back inside. For no food.
Mitchell, what are you doing? It's been 10 minutes.
No, I'm just resting my eyes. Just resting my eyes. I'll be right out. So it's 6 a.m. right now. I would love some breakfast and a coffee. But coffee is, quote, for the weak, according to Jocko. And we're not eating breakfast. There you go. We're straight up to work. Get stuck into it. I mean, I might get the most accomplished that I ever have if I can stay awake. 6 a.m., let's go to work. So stuck into work, I'm getting into a little bit of social media, posting some stuff, getting ready for the day. Then I'm gonna get ready and email for the mailing list. Now, if you guys want a bit of insight into how I live my life, mailing list is a great place to go. There's also a free recovery score guide where you can look at how your body is stressed out, how much are you demanding of yourself outside of training, and how hard are you gonna be allowed to train based on that. All of those links are in the description. Would love to get you on the email list, and I think maybe a more practical approach, but one that has got me to be the world's strongest man nonetheless. So go ahead, pick up that recovery guide, get onto the mailing list, and let's get you to be the strongest version of yourself. All right, so it is lunchtime. Now, traditionally, Jocko, very low carb diet from what he's put out there. I can't really do that. I have a body that I have to maintain. I've got performance that I've got to hit. If your goals are performance-based, you need carbohydrates for fuel. So I'm gonna go off of his diet a little bit. I waited until 12:24 to eat. I think I'm doing pretty well in and of itself. So we're gonna have rice. Otherwise, we're gonna follow pretty much what he does, which we're gonna do some beef, we're gonna do some veggies and keep it very much animal based. We're gonna have some yogurt. I know that he likes full fat yogurt as well. So we're gonna pop the rice in the rice cooker, give that a start, and get our other ingredients ready. We've got some chicken and some beef. We're gonna have all of that because I am hungry as can be. Now, we've also got plain Greek yogurt. Gonna get stuck into a bit of that. And again, another exception, but you're gonna get stuck into a little bit of OJ as well. Sorry, Jocko, I need carbs. All right, so I've finished working for 6 hours now, and 6 hours, no coffee, no food. All there is to get stuck into it. So I had one of the most productive mornings I've ever had, which is nice. I wrote out the framework for our next PDF, which is going to be Muscle Building 2.0. If you haven't checked out 1.0, link in the description, you know the deal. I got my social media scheduled for the next little bit. I had a couple of meetings, a couple of exciting things coming up for those of you who are in the strongman space. I am gonna change the way that strongman supportive equipment is done at the top level. So look forward to that developing. And yeah, I mean, that would be a full day's work for me normally. And we're only halfway through the day. Of course, I still gotta get my training in, but I've still got probably 3 hours or so to get this down and then go off to train. I find it fascinating how Jocko only eats twice a day. He's got his lunchtime and then he's got his dinner, and that's it. For me, coming from 5 times, 6 times a day, it certainly eats up a good chunk. And again, for my body, that's sort of just what I need to do. But I think for the average person, it's something worth considering. The breakfast is the most important meal of the day and the health and the blah, 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 blah. It's just not true. It all boils down to how much you eat in a day. What are you eating? What nutrients are you getting? And one thing that was funny that I read Jocko say is human beings can survive for more than 30 days without food. So you're just hungry, you're not starving, get over it. And yeah, I felt like I was starving this morning, but apparently I wasn't.
Something that Jocko does is regular 36-hour to 72-hour fasts. Have you ever fasted?
Oh, no, I haven't. Not for a time like that. But if y'all want to see me fast, I'd go all in. I'd do a 72-hour fast. If you want to see that, let me know. So Jocko says that he doesn't like food anymore. It's just something that he knows that he needs to do and eats when he's hungry. Otherwise, it's just nutrients going through your mouth. It's sort of the same thing when it comes to strongman and being the world's strongest man, trying to be as strong as you can be, where food isn't really an exciting thing because you have to eat so much of it. And you just have to get in what you have to get in. I think the primary difference is that he's got his 99-1 diet, where 99% of the time you're on task and 1% seems like more allowance for variance if you can't eat perfectly rather than cheat meals. They just don't exist. Where we need to get our calories in, and you can't get all of your calories in through perfectly cooked, prepared, nutritious, high micronutrient dense food because it would just be so much. So say something like OJ with yogurt mixed into it, it helps me get in a lot of carbs, some fat, some protein, all just knocking it back in a drink. So I'll have a few shakes a day just to get in the calories that I need. Same thing, beef and chicken mixed up. Like, I'm not really excited about it, but it just gets in what we need to get in. So I think considering, are you looking to be health focused, in which case eat when you're truly hungry and learn what truly hungry feels like. If you're eating for performance, then you have to see what kind of performance are you going for. If you're going for aerobic fitness, you need carbohydrates, but you need to stay light. If you're going for strength, it's better to be heavier, better to eat a bit more and build up your muscle that way. So I think we come to some of the same conclusions where food isn't the most exciting thing on the planet anymore, but useful tool to get you where you're going. Just finished lunch. We are in the merch room, gonna have a little bit of quiet time, do a bit of work filling orders, do a bit of work for a program coming out soon, and then we're off to train. But a couple of hours, I will catch you guys soon. I'm going to work in the peace and quiet.
Hey, Mitch, it's 3.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I was just thinking about my workout for the day. You good to go?
Yeah.
All right, let's roll. All right, so we've made our way to the gym, in for training session, technically number 2 of today. And Jocko on this one, normally he does MMA. He just does something that's fun. And for me, I'm gonna do my strongman training. It's my job, but I have fun doing it. And I think primarily his focus is just move in some way. So this is just movement for me. I just happen to be trying to be as strong as I can be. For you, get out there, be as strong as you can be as fit as you can be the best fighter you can be, whatever it is for you, make sure you're out doing that, trying to do that daily. We're gonna work in some axle press, some log press, bunch of strongman stuff. You guys might learn a thing or two. Regardless, enjoy the training. I think when we're thinking about extreme ownership in relation to exercise of any kind, ownership equals freedom is what Jocko says. And this is really my work. And this is something I communicate to people all the time in a different way, which you take someone with an injury, a chronic condition, a chronic disease, and you take extreme ownership, you have the discipline to be able to attack that. You then have the freedom to do what you'd like to do moving forward. Let's take the traditional case of someone with chronic disease. They've got diabetes, they're gonna get heart disease, they might be having some sort of peripheral neuropathy or vision issues. If you take ownership of that, you take ownership of your diabetes, and you say, I'm gonna attack that, and I'm gonna use exercise as my medicine, you're now gonna start to reverse diabetes, you're gonna start to reverse heart disease, and your biological age might go down, even if your chronological age continues to go up. And then the freedom is then you can have the freedom to go play with your grandkids, freedom to go play sport, freedom to do anything you'd like to do. And frankly, the best time to attack that is as young as possible. You know, as men, if you're resistance training through puberty, that's gonna have vast positive improvements. For women, the more progress you can make before menopause, the better. For women, there's certain processes like bone growth that peaks at ages 13 to 16, and that's when you should be doing impact training. That's when you should be working hard. So take extreme ownership for yourself. Make sure you get moving. Of course, lift heavy, be kind, pick up some merch if you want, link in description. But extreme ownership when it comes to movement is the freedom to do what you need long-term for you and your family. All right, we're halfway through the workout. This shirt gotten a bit soaked. Went to shirt number 2 because log press, you can't have a wet shirt. So Jocko and I align on one other thing, which is keeping good aerobic fitness, even though I'm well overweight and my primary goal is strength. Aerobic fitness still helps with recovery, body composition, general health, and helps me to be a better athlete, but also just generally healthier. So I'm gonna hang on here for 10 minutes, then I'm gonna head off and grab some dinner.
So Fabian has ditched me. I think starting the shift at 4:30 a.m. was probably enough. So dinner time. I'm gonna have 2 dinners. One, dumplings and Diet Coke. I live on Diet Coke, by the way. And then I'm gonna have a protein shake and probably some meat before bed. I don't know how in line it is with Jocko's routine, but I am starving for a little bit of nutrition. Hopefully that gave you a reasonable idea of what Jocko goes through day to day. It's pretty intense, pretty full on, and maybe at a different stage of my life, I would be more successful in doing that. But I would give myself maybe 7 out of 10. Jocko, if you ever see this, happy for you to give me a rating as well. And maybe one day you could put me through the paces in person. If you guys want to see that collab, go ahead and pop it in the comments. Otherwise, as per usual, lift heavy, be kind, and we will catch you in the next one.